hospital with a broken leg or something, and you come out, you're not coping, stuff starts to build up. There's a multitude of reasons why we end up in clutter. I had a classic case, a woman, it was one of my first clients, which almost scared me off the job altogether. She rang me and she said, look, I need you to come over. I've moved into this house. She'd been in the house for 12 months. Beautiful new house. And I need your help because my daughter has said that my grandchildren are not allowed to visit until my house is in a better condition. Her house was dangerous. Her house was so full of stuff that her daughter didn't feel comfortable leaving her grandchildren there because fire hazard, you've got too many newspapers, fire hazard, you don't know what's hiding under stuff, piles of stuff can fall. Yeah. So she said, the kids aren't coming to visit you anymore, you've got to do something about it. So she read it, so I said, okay. And I went and saw her and I thought, wow, why am I doing this? And I do have photos of this on my records to remind me just how much what happens in your life can make a real cluttered mess and you're out of control. And that's what happened here, because what had happened when we started talking and started working through things was 18 months old. She'd been in the house for 12 months, so probably 15 or 16 months prior. Her husband passed away. They'd been living on a farm for 30 years. They'd finally built this fabulous house closer to town. He retired. He got up one morning and probably deteriorated and died. About 2 months before they were due to move into this fabulous new house close to town. Really, really tragic circumstances. And on first looking at this woman, you would never know that stuff had all happened prior. You just think, man, this woman just doesn't know how to live. And that can be a bad assumption that a poor organiser may make. Because I will always sit down and get to know the person, find out what is the motivator for this woman. Her husband passed away. Her children, in their infinite wisdom and helpfulness, decided, well, you've still got to move into this house, Mum. So they all rocked over, and I don't know over what period of time, but they packed up the house for Mum. They literally put the boxes together, opened the cupboards, and went like that. Zipped the boxes up. Everything, nothing was sorted through. The family was in mourning. The family were grieving. The family were not in the right frame of mind to be getting ready to leave, 30 years of living on a farm to a small house in town. So effectively what happened was 30 years of living in a farm got moved to this new house in town. And 12 months later, many of the boxes still hadn't been opened. So we got to work, and she was ready. She had an open mind. She was ready to get rid of the stuff. But she had a good motivator. It's not my favourite type of motivator, which is blackmail. For her, that was enough for her to do something. So I said, okay. So we started working together. What we found over the weeks that we worked together was most of the stuff that she had wasn't even hers. It belonged to her children. A great deal of it actually belonged to the daughter, who was saying, get the garden fixed up, the kids aren't. So we had lots of fun. When we discovered this, it was like discovering a gold mine. We looked at each other and went, yes, this is going to be so easy because we know where to get rid of everything. And it was great. We saw trips to the tip, and I said to her, we sat down one day, and we'd got to a point where we could see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I said to her, okay, next week I'm bringing a trailer and I'm going to take stuff to the tip. We'd already been to the tip 1,000 times. I said, but the stuff I'm talking about is your daughter's stuff. And interestingly enough, her brother-in-law, between all her relatives, it was her brother-in-law and her daughter were the ones that had left most of the stuff in her care, because she would say, well, I'll look after it. And they took advantage of that for 30 years. So I said, okay, I've got one homework task for you. I gave her a homework task, but I don't do that very often. And I said, I need you to ring your daughter and your brother-in-law and say that they've got until next Tuesday to come and get their stuff, because if they don't, it's gone. Tell them you're working with me. Say, Wendy, the evil clutter Nazi, said that if you don't come and get your stuff, it's gone. You'd be amazed at how quickly that stuff vanished out of that woman's house. Because and I was serious, I was deadly serious. I actually arrived the following Tuesday with the trailer, and we got rid of some stuff to the tip, but most of the stuff went somewhere else. And I tell you what, there was a lot of apologies, and there probably still is now, 4 or 5 years down the track, from the daughter, because it was mostly her stuff. But the situation that had created it was so much more deeper than that. Often when people have babies, there's another